Hello, everyone. Today we have a special guest here. Um, Alex has a lot of experience and he has a pretty large mining farm. And we're going to ask him a few questions today in relation to mining and where miners are likely to head after the ETH 2.0 merge. So we have Alex here. Alex, I want you to go ahead and first of all introduce yourself.
Hello, guys. Thank you, first of all, Patient Money, for having me on. I love your project. I support it. I bought a bunch of your NFTs, something like 30. So obviously, I got in before the 500. I want to get my money back. So, but I appreciate you having me on, and I'm very excited for what's going on with ETC, and I think being a miner over for 4 years and having a farm over 360 GPUs, hash rate over 12 gigahash, almost 13, that I have some information that maybe people want to listen to. I've been mining ETC now for about 2 or 3 years, especially when it went down to like 3 or 4 terahash at one time, where we were just killing it when nobody wanted it because of the 51 attack. But we'll get into that because there's a lot of things they put in place into the 51 attacks. They fixed that, and the hash rates, obviously, you did the math the other day. It would cost millions and millions and millions of dollars just to do that. But we'll get into that in a minute. So, but just to give you an idea, I've been crypto mining now for about at the end of 2018 when it fell. I said, you know what? I see these prices. I see these hash rates. I know how to do this. I've been doing computers. For those that are in my era, I was an internet service provider back in the 90s. Quit my job at AT&T, opened up an ISP. For those that may know what Livingston Portmasters are, Cisco's 2501s, the DSUs, and the US Robotics 56K, I think it was back then. We had to dial in for internet access. And, I left my job. People thought I was crazy, saying the internet's going to be a fad, and now you just shut off the internet, you can't even work. So I see the same thing with cryptocurrency. I tend to do my research and follow projects that I think have legs on them, and ETC, hands down, is going to be one of them. So I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. That's a pretty good introduction there.
Thank you.
I didn't know you did all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been programming since I was 10 years old in BASIC.
Wow. Nice.
And then I used to program in SQL.
Awesome.
I don't do it anymore. No thanks.
So, guys, if you are watching us, please do us all a favor and share the video so that we can get more people in here. If you have questions, feel free to type them. If they are appropriate, I will put it up on the screen and we will discuss. But just in the nutshell, today we're going to talk about many different things. We're going to talk about what the ETH 2.0 merge means to proof of work coins. We are also going to talk about GPU versus ASIC mining. Is your farm entirely GPU, or do you have some ASICs as well?
Most of my farm is GPU. I do have 23 S19J Pros, 100 terahash. I bought those about 3 or 4 months ago. I paid a lot because Bitcoin back then was 38,000. Now it's those same. I paid 8,500 a piece, and that came out to be about 200,000. And then now they're selling for like 3,500. But you can't think that way. But I sold one of my real estate properties knowing that I'm something you may not know. I'm also a mortgage and real estate broker for 25 years. So I've been doing that for quite a while, and I still do it. That's where I get 20% of my earnings of any closings that I have and put it straight into crypto or equipment. Sold that property because I know interest rates were going up and property values naturally have to come down. Got rid of it and bought miners right away. So, and I also have 6 Zcash miners and 4 E3 180 mega hash miners that mine Ethereum Classic.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to talk about GPU versus ASIC mining, and then I'm sure there will be a lot of people watching who are GPU miners like myself, and would like some tips on how to the best overclock, or however how to get the most out of your GPU. we're also going to talk about the 51% attack, and how it's very difficult now due to the stuff that's happening on Ethereum Classic, to prevent that mess and other stuff. And also we'll talk about development on Ethereum Classic in general, and some of the new stuff that's coming. Meme coins, NFTs, projects, DAOs. So lots to talk about here. All right. So looks like we pretty much jumped right into it. Before we even move any further, so if I ask any question that you're not ready for, just I have so many others here. So I saw you had made a tweet about the um the ETH proof of stake. Actually, let me share my screen here real quick. And if you want to share your screen, also let me.
Yeah, go ahead and show that tweet, especially how many forks are coming out there. Now there's one called, I think it was called Ethereum Carnival. I don't even know what the hell that is. And there's another one.
So can you explain that a little bit?
I don't know. I don't know. It just came out just the other day. They don't even have a white paper. They don't have anything. FW they do. They have Ethereum.
They put together a quick one. I saw that.
Yeah, the FW. So that has more legs. I still think Ethereum Classic, hands down, is going to be the go-to one, because the first number one is Bitcoin, number two is Ethereum, and number three is Ethereum Classic on the proof of work. Once Ethereum goes to proof of stake, it's going to leave this huge void and space in which Ethereum Classic naturally is going to step in. They did something very smart, Ethereum Classic. What I did was I bought a bunch of 4 gigabyte GPUs when we could still mine Ethereum, knowing that I was going to move it to Ethereum Classic once they announced that they're going to reduce the DAG down to 3 gigabytes, less than 3 gigabytes. Once they did that, forget it. I went on a shopping spree and just bought as many as I could, and people would just get rid of them because they didn't know. So you could still mine Ethereum at the time when I did that for about 8 months to a year. I mined a little bit out of that with LOL Miner, which at a reduced hash rate until it got to a point where it didn't make sense. Then I moved into Ethereum Classic. I've been doing that now for about a year and a half, collecting Ethereum Classic, but I've been actually investing in all the NFT projects. And so I have every ETC that I mined is going into a project. I don't really even hold any ETC. Every time it comes into my wallet, I'm either buying one of the projects or investing in another one, and just long term. So, but yeah, I mean, that's those proof of work ones are coming out. I just don't see those taking over Ethereum Classic. That's already established. And we mentioned this, you and I, several times, that Ethereum Classic is the original chain. And I keep saying it over and over and over, that Ethereum Classic is a fork. I mean, even CoinMarketCap, that's where everybody goes. So you see all these articles they're writing, Ethereum Classic is a fork of Ethereum. It's actually the other way around. So now Ethereum is a fork of Ethereum Classic, and now Ethereum POS is going to be a fork of POW. So it's a fork of a fork. Yeah, fork of a fork of a fork. So obviously Ethereum's got a lot of potential as proof of stake, but proof of work has its use case, and a lot of developers don't like the POS sharding. It is fast transactions, but now you're talking about POS in which you have these validators that can have control. And if you saw my article, did you post it up? I think you saw a little while ago. Over 50% owned by Lido, Coinbase, and what was the other one? There was and I think it was either Kraken, right? Yeah. So that's not centralized.
Yeah, not decentralized. It's centralized.
So if the U.S. government steps in and say no more, Brian Armstrong already said that he's going to comply and shut down the staking. Imagine that.
Yeah. So right here you see that it's still not changed. I just went to CoinMarketCap again, and it is still not changed. It still says the exact same thing. Ethereum Classic is a hard fork of. So CoinMarketCap, guys. I made a tweet about this on Patient Money. If you haven't already, retweet it. Let's retweet it as much as we can so that it gets their attention, because this is just false information that's out there, and it's been out there for a long time. I actually fell victim to this almost two years ago when I was doing my research on Ethereum Classic. So if you want to learn more about Ethereum Classic, go to ethereumclassic.org. Okay. I just wanted to put that in there.
I just find it odd that they don't change it after we've been screaming about it and people have been talking about it. They just don't care. I don't get it. I mean, CoinMarketCap is, I think it's owned by Binance, correct?
I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, Binance bought it. I'm almost 100% sure. So what is it? Why do they do not change it and put the right information? And of course, anybody who writes an article about ETC, whether it's positive or negative, it says it's a fork, because guess where they go? The first place you go, CoinMarketCap.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, ETC foot soldiers have to be the one to spread the information out there. All right. So the next thing we're going to jump into right now is the other coins that might possibly compete with Ethereum Classic after the merge. So there are some other proof of work coins out there that might possibly compete with Ethereum Classic after the merge. I'm actually not following too many of them. At least I do know Ravencoin, ERGO, FLUX, and Beam. I think that's about it. You mentioned GRIN the other time. I'm like, okay, I'm still learning about all these coins. So feel free and tell us why you think that ETC has a good chance competing. And I want you to split this in half, because I know that there will be GPUs competing, and then there will be ASICs competing. So let us know how it's going to look, how the competition is going to look with GPUs finding the next proof of work network, and then ASICs finding the next proof of work network.
Okay, so that's easy to answer. So let's first start with the ASICs.
Okay, you froze there a little bit, Alex. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. I think you froze a little bit. He's coming back, guys.
Okay,
there you are. You're back. You're back. You froze a little bit.
Okay, I don't know what happened there, but anyways, so we have the E3 ASICs. Let's talk about the ASICs first. E3 ASICs. You have the E7s, which not very popular. Not many people know about those. The E9s, the A10s, the A11s. All these were sold by Bitmain and Silicon. There's some other. IPOIL. You have there's some other ones that I saw. The ones out of the I can't remember, like 4U rack. I can't remember the name right now. They're very efficient. Those are mining Ethereum. Once that's done, the manufacturers already said that they're going to release BIOS that they can use their machines on ETC if they're not already. So that's going to be in the mix too as well. And we anticipate, or we guess, and this is just going around roundtables that I've been to, that somewhere between 50 and 20, maybe even 25% of the hash rate is ASICs. Now, so let's look at that. You're talking about 25% at 800. You're talking about 200 terahash is ASICs, which they can't mine anything else, because the hardware is specifically designed to work with an algorithm that is memory intensive, not core intensive, which is Ethereum Classic, and any other Ethereum-based algorithm. And they could only go to ETC or maybe Ethos, which isn't profitable, or even Liquid. They're going to come to the ETC. So you're going to see ETC jump maybe 200 terahashes over when that happens. Now you're talking about, that's a huge amount. That's going to be great for us because it's going to create security. Not great for the miners because we're going to make less profit, but it is, bring up the security, bring awareness, and it's going to bring a lot more people into the fold to find out what ETC is. So all these Ethereum miners that have been doing ASICs, they only care about one thing. GPU miners are totally different than ASIC miners. ASIC miners care about one thing: profit, period. They don't care about anything else for the most part. The GPU miners are more like the hobbyist miner or the farms, and we're more involved in our projects. We know what they do. When they jump over this 200 terahash, let's say, jumps over to Ethereum Classic, what are they going to do? They're going to naturally start doing research. I mean, you're not going to mine a coin that you don't know anything about. I mean, a lot of these people don't even know anything about ETC, don't even know about the NFTs that have been expanding on ETC, and they're going to do the research, get interested, and start. These guys have, talking about the larger farms, thousands of Ethereum, and they're going to be mining thousands of Ethereum Classic, and they're going to start buying into these projects. The GPU miners do have an option. They can mine things like Ravencoin, Conflux, GRIN, Beam, Flux. There's so many that you can go to, but you have to look at the GPU. The AMD GPUs are great for memory-intensive algorithms, while the NVIDIAs are good for core-intensive algorithms. And those are like Zcash. That's not called Zcash anymore. They're called Flux. They're good for GRIN, Beam, and Ravencoin, which are core-intensive. Now, the ones that have AMD farms like me, I'm a mid-size, small to mid-size. There's people that have 2 or 3, 4, 5,000 GPUs, AMD. They're not going to want to retune all those GPUs onto a core-intensive algorithm because it's complete different settings. It took us weeks, months, and years to tune our rigs to where the settings work with Ethereum, and then all they have to do is point it to the pool. None of the settings change. So they're almost for sure are going to go to Ethereum Classic. NVIDIA might go to the other ones. A big portion is still going to come to Ethereum Classic, and a smaller portion is going to go to like FW and maybe the F Carnivore or whatever the hell it's called, and whatever else is going to be coming down the pike. So I see a big flux of people coming into Ethereum Classic just because of the ease and keep their farms running. Not only that, when you start mining Ravencoin and Flux and Beam and GRIN and Zcash not as profitable. They run hotter, and they also use more power. Obviously, they make more profit, let's say, at the time being. But think about you having 1,000 GPUs at your location. You have just enough airflow through your extraction fans to keep them cool. All of a sudden, it's up 10, 15 degrees. Now you have to install not only more power and upgrade your location, spending tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, but also the airflow and the extractors. Unless you have immersion technology, which less than 5%, probably less than 3% have immersion technology, and that's going to be a big problem. So I don't see that.
Wow, that's a very, very detailed answer. With the ASICs, I'm glad that you mentioned the fact that when a lot of ASICs jump into ETC, it's not going to benefit the smaller scale miners, but what it's going to do in return is that it's going to secure the network. It's going to increase the network hash rate, which reduces the probability of another 51% attack, and that would make projects, DeFi projects and other projects feel more comfortable coming on the network, and that's how the network is going to grow long term. So it's not going to be right away that ASICs come, the hash rate goes up, and then the price is going to go up. It's not like that. Usually, it's after the price goes up that the hash rate follows. I like that you mentioned that, and I mean, if it's easier for ASICs to come and secure the network, I'm all for it. Interesting.
Yeah. Also, we were talking about NiceHash. They just added ETC hash after not doing that for several years. Now you're thinking, oh my God, that's how the 51% attacks started. Yeah, but hash rate was only 8 terahash or 10 terahash when all that happened. Now it's 50, if I'm not mistaken, or close to it. And when all those ASICs come over and GPUs, it'll be well over 300. Now for the small hobbyist miner that's at their home, I see there's going to be a big movement of selling GPUs because it's just not profitable to run at home. I get cheap power, so I could withstand that and make a profit and also pay my electric bill, which is roughly about $10,000 a month. But other ones that are running at home, they're going to shut off their machines. So, naturally what's going to happen is, what happens is people are going to go and they're going to shut off their machines because it's not profitable. Hash rate may come down for a while, but price action will follow as more awareness comes to it. And, when your project comes off the ground, whatever time that may be, that's another gaming project. There's so many NFTs. I have them open. We'll go through them later. NFT and swap properties and swap like HebeSwap and liquidity providers that, it's just getting bigger. You remember I'm sure you have because you've been at ETC. There was what, 0 development from 2016 to 2020? Zero.
Yep.
Then CryptoPunks came out last year in November, I think it was. I think I bought like 2 of them just for the hell of it. You know, I should have bought more, but you know, I didn't think anything about it. But you know, then you have the ETC Board 8 Yacht Club that came out early this year. They came out then with the Mutant 8 Yacht Club, so they're following the steps of the original Board 8 Yacht Club. Which, by the way, you know, they have a disclaimer where they don't, they're not affiliated with Yuga Labs. It's just a homage to them. But they mint it out pretty damn quick. The Board 8 Yacht Club, I think, took like the ETC one took about 3 or 4 months, if I'm not mistaken, and the Mutant only took like a month. So right. there is a lot of traction on ETC, and I'm sure you've been watching it. There's like an ETC project coming out every week now, and maybe sometimes 2 or 3 a week.
Very true, very true, very true. And since you mentioned Nice Hash, of course, I have been tracking this. I track it every day. So you know, but back in the day when we didn't know anything, it's like, so I'm actively tracking this, and so far, when I made a video a couple of days ago, we only had about 66 active rented miners on here, and now it's up to 431, but we're not even mining 1 terahash yet. Okay,
not even close.
Not even close. And the thing is that it's from different people. So if more people rent here, also it helps to secure the network as well. It will just give the attackers more work to do.
Well, the thing is, in order for you to buy ETC hash on Nice Hash, you have to have miners on Nice Hash. So it may be that there's not enough miners mining with Nice Hash right now.
Well, it's possible since it's barely a week since they they announced the addition of ETC hash.
I mean, maybe you could want to explain how Nice Hash works, how it converts it into Bitcoin on the fly.
Okay, you go ahead. You might be.
Yeah, so Nice Hash, what it is, it's kind of like there's 2 that people use. Is mining rigs, miningrentals.com and Nice Hash. So Nice Hash, what they do is they put some type of order system where you could actually bid on hash rate. So in other words, so you have the buyers here and then you have the sellers here. But if you have more buyers and sellers, you can't buy the hash rate. And if you have more sellers than buyers, then it gets cheaper. Me, I don't mine Nice Hash at all. I like to mine my coin and keep them because ETC has an incredible potential, easy 10x for sure. Maybe even 20, 30, 40, 50x. We don't know. But you know, unless there's enough sellers on Nice Hash, that hash rate where you see the 0.0379 is not going to go up. And that's what I suspect. There's not much out there.
Very true, very true, very true. And I'm just looking at the network for ETC right now. It's at 47.64 terahashes 2 minutes ago.
Wow, it's 47 already? Wow.
Yep.
That it was just 42 earlier today.
Yep. Yeah, it actually jumped to 50 or so. Yeah, it jumped to 50. I saw a lot of people tweeting about it. It went back down.
Yeah, let me go to 2 miners. Yeah, it's 47.29. Wow. Yeah, you're right. It was actually the highest.
All right. So let's see. Oh, Alex, I think you froze again.
It was 51. I don't know why. Why is it? You can't hear me?
Well, now I can hear you. You froze for a little bit there.
Okay. I'm not sure why.
Okay.
All
right. So moving on. I want you to share some mining tips. So, for example, I had a friend back in March of 2020 when Ethereum dropped all the way to about $100 a coin. March 2020. Wasn't that long ago, guys. Look it up. ETH dropped all the way to about $100 a coin. And so what he did was he sold a bunch of ETH to pay his light bill, which was about $1,000. So he was selling 10 ETH at a time. And
oh my God,
he kept doing that for a while because he had a lot of ETH. He was mining a lot. He had a lot of ETH. But then when ETH, within a year and a half from then, ETH went back up to $4,000. It just showed how much he threw down the drain. He probably should have found a way to borrow money somewhere. But yeah. So any advice for miners and how they can get through the bear season?
Yeah, sure. I mean, one of the things is, when you build your mining rigs, if you're going to be a hobbyist miner, have one or two, the house is fine. When you start getting into 3 and 5, you're going to have a garage with a 220 and some kind of airflow. But once you get into over 5 rigs, so let's say 30 cards, you have to start looking for somewhere to put it, either a warehouse with cheap power, because now you're getting to a different level. The cards that I recommend to buy with Ethereum Classic, if you're going to do Ethereum Classic, is probably hands down best bang for the buck are the RX 5700s. They're very efficient. They mine about 53, 54 once you flash the BIOS, and they run really cool. The RX 580s, believe it or not, are still profitable. Those things are like 6 years old or something like that. They hash about 30, 31, but you could pick them up online, the 4 gigs, for like $100. So that's what I would do. I would start there. If you want to start mining right now, go ahead and buy a rig. I build rigs, by the way. If anybody wants to contact me, I build them, I get them ready, and I ship them. And, I do that for people, and I train them. I don't just, hey, here, take it. No, I train them because I like to help people. I want them to be informed, and I want them actually to be, to interact with me. So that way, when they see projects that I don't see, they give me information. That's happened many times for my customers. So what I recommend is, like I said, start small, because it's a learning curve, to say the least. And, then you start getting used to how to mine, what it does, the settings, how you overclock and undervolt. And if it's too much or too little, what program, Team Red Miner, or you want to use Phoenix or LOL or T-Rex. There's so many different miners, and you start playing with that. Not only is it profitable, but it's a hell of a lot of fun to do. It is fun.
It is fun for all the nerds out there.
But you'd be surprised. My customers, 95, because I do a lot of things on like OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace and eBay, and they don't know anything. But by the time I'm done with them, they already know how to run HiOS, how to do the settings, how to flash the USB or the SD card, and they run their own rigs. I need them to learn, because then they start calling me like crazy, and I can't help them all the time. But that's what I recommend. If you want to start, be part of something that's going to be huge. I saw this with the internet in 1995 when I opened up my ISP and I quit my job. A great job with great benefits, making 60, 70 grand a year. And 1993 is like making almost 100 today. I said, you know what? This is not for me. It's grunt work. I know how to program. I know computers. And I saw the internet way before. I mean, I was on the internet in 1992 when it was only text. It was actually called ARPANET before that. I used to get on, what was it? CompuServe. I don't know if you probably don't remember that. You would. But CompuServe, and of course, most people will remember AOL. You got mail, blah. So, that was annoying. I hated that thing. And, but I never had AOL. I went straight into the internet. It was all text-based. I'm a complete nerd. I would do mudding, which is like RPG, playing text, and the wizard throws this spell and this many hit points. And it was so much fun. But the fact, and I actually ran a BBS. For those that maybe, I'm 51, so know the era of 90s. I ran a BBS down in Miami, which, let me see who's on here. Make sure there's nobody legally on here. Anybody? No cops? A pirate BBS, trading games and stuff like that. I was actually a Razor 1911 distribution site, which was a hacking group. But that was like 16, 17, 18, just screwing around. But I saw the potential of the internet, and I see the same exact potential of crypto. People resist things, and they fear what they don't understand until they can't resist it anymore. It's going to happen, and with Metcalfe's law, you guys can look that up. It's the network effect. The value of anything goes up on how many people are using it. So Facebook, for example, when it was 10 users or 20 users, it was worth about $5. Once you had, billions or hundreds of millions or whatever it is right now it's worth, tens, 15, 100 billion, whatever the hell it's worth. But that's where crypto is going to come to shine. When you see, not only, I know people don't want regulation, but it's going to happen. And what that's going to do to the price action, it's going to explode, because now the big boys can play in the sandbox. You got all these big companies that you cannot, publicly traded companies that cannot get involved in Bitcoin because it's not regulated and there's no clear regulatory guidelines from the government. You're talking about the Howey test. What's that, like 80 years old? It does not fit into our in our business. And when you see like the big companies like PayPal start doing it there, which they already are, but they're not accepting it as payment, and you start seeing everybody start using it, then you have first you have the nerds, then you have the early adopters, then you have the mid adopters, then you have the late adopters. And by that time, that's when like one thing I always use as an example is like you go to your hairdresser or your barber and you say, hey, you have any Bitcoin? He goes, no, hell no. You come back and you say 2 months later, get your haircut. Hey, you got any Bitcoin? And he says, well, I've been hearing about it. I've been looking at it. It's still early. That means you're still early. But when you go back and your barber owns some Bitcoin, it's too late. That's the masses getting in and buying it. You don't want to be in the masses. You don't want to be the sheep. You want to be the person that gets in when it's an innovative, great new project and it's cheap. Bitcoin is cheap right now. I mean, you're talking about when the ETFs came out with gold, and anybody can fact check me. Look, when the ETF came out, gold went from like $40 to like, I don't know how many hundreds within a few weeks, because now the big companies can buy ETFs, invest in gold, because now you have regulatory clarity. But we're not there yet. We're probably a few years away from that.
Wow, lots of stuff, man. We could talk about a lot of stuff.
Oh, I could go on forever.
All right. So what do you think? Okay, I'm just going to throw this at you. Again, if you don't want to comment on anything, just feel free to say, hey, I'm a pass on this one. So I don't know how long you've been following Charles, but recently he was actually promoted to the board of the ETC cooperative, and he's worked on ETC a lot with IOHK. And I think since the devs ended up voting to not support a treasury for ETC, because they really don't want anything to be close to being centralized on ETC. I think he's been quite bitter about some stuff. That's what I think. And so he recently decided to tell people to choose ERGO. It didn't make that much of a difference. It was funny. He posted that video and ETC decided to pump 25% right off the bat. But then, so what do you think about Charles? Because I mean, I do respect Charles a lot. I know what he has done for ETC, and so I do respect him a lot. But I want you to know what you think about that.
Yeah, I was really surprised that he said that, because IOHK has always been a big proponent of ETC. They've been helping us all along, and this was actually something must have happened. I don't know what, or maybe he bought a lot of ERGO and he's pushing his narrative. I'm not sure. It's got to be something, because why would he say something like that? Because ETC is the original chain. You can't say ETC is not Ethereum. It is. It's just the original Ethereum. I mean, for those who don't know what happened to Ethereum, when it got hacked, and I don't remember what year it was, Vitalik Buterin and his cronies decided to, and the Ethereum Foundation, it was Ethereum DAO that got hacked. They rolled back Ethereum and forked off so that way they can get their money back. In the spirit of immutability and decentralization, that's not the way it's supposed to go. How is that decentralized? It isn't. You can't do that. If it happens, it happens. I've been hacked before in my wallet. I lost like 20 Ethereum at one time from a stupid mistake, when it was only like $100, but now you look at it, it's like, 40 grand or whatever it is, 30 something grand. But, I didn't go and cry and say, hey, let's roll it back. But obviously, when it's somebody in the position of Vitalik, he did that. And that was where the ETC Classic came, because that was just ridiculous. To do that, you're not supposed to do that. And, I was surprised Charles Hoskinson, I respect him. The guy's very smart. You're talking about, he's got really, a great project. I like Cardano. I think he's doing it right too. He didn't come out and he doesn't shill it. He just goes out and develop and let it speak for itself. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's taking too long to develop it. But you know what? One mistake can cost you billions of dollars. And they keep finding bugs after bug after bug. Remember, People don't know that Ethereum is still in beta. I mean, I'm not sure if you knew that, but it's still in beta. That thing is not a fully, how would I say?
Uh-oh, we lost you again.
Commercial grade product. I'm here.
Oh, hold on.
No.
Nope. Now, okay, you're back.
Okay, sorry, but I don't know what that is. That my side? I guess it has to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the internet here, and I have high-speed internet, but whatever. So what I don't know how far I went, but I was saying is like, Charles Hoskinson, and why he did that, I have no idea. The only thing I could think of, he has interest in ERGO. That's it.
Well, it's because I do know that he owns a lot of ETC. Um, he himself he has said that before, and so for some reason. But anyway, moving on from uh, good old Charles. Moving on from good old Charles. Yeah, so let's talk about Ethereum Classic and development on Ethereum Classic, because it's like it's been able to survive all these years with absolutely no development, which is just mind blowing in itself. When Ethereum peaked last year, it was last year, right, to about $180. There was no development on Ethereum Classic. It was soon after that. That's when the punks came out. So now we actually have development on Ethereum Classic. And again, it's a lot of NFT projects, gaming projects. We have a few DAOs that are starting up. But then again, that's just going to open the way for more development. And just so you know, any DeFi project that's running on Ethereum can easily port over to Ethereum Classic and run perfectly. Maybe you might need a few tweaks here and there, especially if it's a very scaled project. But that Ethereum Classic says there is no scalability when you have what is it, a finite amount of coins, right? So having a capped monetary supply is something that is very dear to Ethereum Classic. So what do you think about development on Ethereum Classic so far? And is there anything you want to share? And by the way, guys, I just added Alex's link tree to the description in the comments. So you can go ahead and check out his YouTube, his Twitter, follow him in all those places as well. And please do well to like the video. We have 17 viewers right now, and we don't have that many likes. So please do well and like it. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm sorry. What was the question? I was just listening in, but what was the last question?
Okay, so the question is, what do you think about development on Ethereum Classic?
Oh, it's been amazing. If you see the communities that have been built, I mean, there's several, and I'll go over a couple of them that I really like. So let's go to the mining aspect first, and then I'll go over some NFTs, and then I'll go over also some swap protocols and some liquidity providers. One of the ones that I like a lot is well, let's talk about the mining. So Hash.blue is a mining pool run by, let me see.
You want to share your screen? You want me to share it?
No, sure, go ahead.
All right.
Let me share it. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. There you go. So this hash, so a lot of people are asking, saying, okay, we're going to lose some profit. This gentleman here, let me get his name. I'll give you his personal. It's Jacko, JACKO 0088. If you get him on Telegram, or you can just go to the Hash.blue website, and you can get on Telegram, and you can contact him there. He's giving a 25% bonus to all ETC mine blocks for the month of September. He's actually talking about continuing doing that in order to get obviously more people on there. But because there's going to be a drop in earnings, he's taking out his own pocket to do this. It's substantial. And he's going to start, he was talking about maybe doing 20 for the next month, 20, 15, and so on until zero. Now, so right now, if anybody who's going to mine ETC, this is the place to go. Why not get 25% bonus? Might as well for the month of September and other months. Another thing you could do, which I do on some of my rigs, is dual mine with Zilliqa. So what I do is I mine ETC, and then Zilliqa is a proof of stake project that also mines 1 or 2 minutes an hour proof of work. It's pretty. It's like a hybrid. It's pretty.
So does it also mine GPU or is it a CPU mining algorithm?
GPU.
GPU.
So what you do is if you have more than 6, maybe even 4, I think it might work for 4. Yeah, it'll work for 4 too. You could actually load the DAG of Ethereum Classic and the DAG of Zilliqa, so it just switches without having to reset the whole damn thing. I mean, it's very fast. It's already in TRM, terminated resident memory. It stays in there, so it switches to Zilliqa. It knows it mines it for 2 minutes and then goes back to ETC. You get another 6 to 8% off of that. And the Zilliqa that you mine, you get about, if you put it on, let me see the software. Let me just pull it up real quick because people are going to want to know this.
Let me give a quick shout out to Doc. Doc is here. I have seen some of his work. He's doing a new NFT batch for Classic Grace. So hey, we're excited to have some great artists here on ETC. So what's up, Doc?
Yeah, Doc. Let me tell you, Doc. We've been talking quite a bit. He actually did a custom Bored Ape Yacht. I'm sorry, Mutant Ape Yacht Club drip. Oh my God, it was amazing. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it's pretty damn good.
Nice.
Yeah,
I know. I've seen his art with the new Classic Grace, and I think that's pretty cool. And I had mentioned earlier that I'm excited about the project that I decided to mint for free, the Swaggles and the Grace. They could really blow up someday, because do you know that the original punks actually minted for free? Like all you had to do was to send your Ethereum wallet, and they will send you a punk for free. 2 years from then, it became about $300,000 floor price. So that's interesting.
For a pixel art, my God.
Yeah.
So go figure.
Which you got for free.
Yeah. So I know Doc. He's doing a custom drop for the people on Classic Grays. So if you own 20 Classic Grays, he's going to do a drop. He does some great art. I mean, amazing art that it's going to be what he implements. So, if you get 20 Classic Grays, I don't know if that's still active, but I got my 20 Classic Grays, and those things are selling for like $1 or $2. They're so cheap. But to get one of the Doc's airdrops, hell yeah, I bought as many as I could. But
okay, so
yeah,
if you haven't minted but you want 20, you just go buy them.
I just bought them on the secondary market because they're cheaper than minting. I think and they're really good. So that's got some legs as well. So let's talk about like the projects that I'm involved in. Not involved, but I invested. Like this was the ETC. The ETC Bored Ape Yacht Club. My wallet's not coming up. Come on, it's not liking it. Okay, there we go. So this is a homage to Bored Ape Yacht Club. Oh, you took up my
I'll put it right back. I thought you were connecting your wallet, so I was just taking it off.
No, I didn't. It's already connected. Yeah.
Okay, it's good.
All right. They already minted out back in February, but they have some great products. So just to give you an idea, I put my money where my mouth is. Here are my apes. I'll show them. I don't mind. Let's see if they come up. Is it coming up? No. What's happening? Oh, here we go. Your collection. There you go. Oh, I guess not. Maybe they're working on it. I don't know. No, it's not working. Yeah, there's something wrong with it. I don't know. Maybe I'm on the wrong chain. Let me make sure.
Yeah, maybe you're on the wrong chain.
No, Ethereum Classic. No, I'm gonna have to tell them about this. They're bug. Here's my collection. I can't see it. But if you go like to the Mutant Ape Club, maybe that works. Let's take a look at that. And these are really cool. So I have the serums that were airdropped to me. These serums here, they were only like 6, and those things sold for like 150, 180 ETC on an auction. They sold quick. I mean, here are my mutants. I have quite a bit. I have a 90 rank. I mean, I have something like 58 mutants. I mean, several. And I really like this project. The
nice
community
collection you have there.
Yeah. I got quite a bit. So, I'm holding on to these. I'm not selling them. One of the things, also another one, is this one I like. ETC BitPixel. He's doing a metaverse. And what's pretty cool is these are the pixels that I bought. They're about $3 to mint. sorry, 3 ETC to mint. And you also can attach your ape, and they give you a 3D version of your ape. Let's see if it shows it. I think it does. And there's my 3D version of my ape. That's going to be on the metaverse. That's pretty cool. And if you go to the home page, to the home, their metaverse. Let's see if they have it. New. Oh, here we go. Enter the metaverse. It's actually the same thing that you use. You use Unity as well, correct?
Yep, Unity WebGL. Yep.
So he's creating a whole metaverse on the Bored Ape Yacht Club and probably the Mutant and also the CryptoPunks. So you're going to be able to walk around the metaverse, go do whatever, like same thing as any other metaverse. I'm not going to let it load because it's taking too long, but it takes a little while, but it's pretty interesting. And then to sell or buy any Ethereum Classic NFTs, this is the best place. You would go to ETC Planet. They have a great selection there. They have different projects that you could buy on the secondary market. Like I said, it's already been minted out as far as the Bored Ape Yacht Club and the Mutant Ape Yacht Club. Let's see if it brings my profile. Yeah, it should bring it up. And then you could put your Bored Ape Yacht Club. There's so many. Here's my collection. I have it only shows 12. That's kind of odd. Oh no, there it goes. So I have all the Mutant Ape Yacht Clubs. Then I have a lot of the ETB Pixels, the regular Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. I also own a bunch.
Oh, you froze out there again.
This one. I'm good?
Yep, you're back.
Okay. A lot of these are the 20 that I own to get the airdrop. I bought some of these, the llamas, the rocks. I don't know if you saw that. ETC
yeah,
rock.
The rocks. Something came out about the guy who made the rocks, and then he just disappeared. So I don't know if he's gonna come back.
I don't know. I paid 1 ETC. They were like, I got the 3rd, 4th, and 5th mint. I didn't care. The monkey doos, I have like 50 something of those. So I'm really vested into this ETC project and all the different any NFT that comes out, I buy at least 3 or 4. If it's 1 ETC, if it's 2, I think about it.
Well, there's this thing that's probably going to happen is that when ETC takes off, all the early NFTs are going to be worth so much more because there will be a plethora of new NFTs popping up left and right, and then there'll be a lot of reverence given to NFTs that came early. So,
we're going to be these are OG NFTs,
right?
For sure. That's why I'm not selling anything. I'm not interested in selling. So, and then another one I like. There's a website called NFT List where you can also see all your NFTs. You can go there on your own. There's actually Shiba Inu Classic. Oh, it's not coming up. Oh, too bad. But they're actually a good project. I invested that as well. Also, you have the Dogelon Classic. If you look at that, that's it doesn't have too much liquidity. Has about that diluted market is only 105. The Shiba Inu Classic, they're about almost 1 million. I don't know if you know about Classic DAO. Have you seen that?
Yep, I've seen that.
Okay, so I already invested about 10 ETC. I'm gonna buy about another 20 or 30.
They have staking.
Yeah. Sorry.
They have staking.
Yeah, and the rewards are like 25, 30, 40%. So that's pretty good. I forgot to mention this. In order to be into the hash blue and get the 25% bonus, you have to be on mining for 5 days. But if you mention me, he'll waive that. He'll give it to you right away. So you just say, listen, I talked to Crypto Alex from Blockchain Strategies and Mining and Patient Money from Classic Rewards. They did a video. They said that we contacted you directly, that you will waive the 5 days. So that's something I wanted to mention. And that's about it. I mean, those are the ones that I really heavily vested. There's some other ones too that have some audible mentions. I mean, you have also Hebe Swap. That's where you do the swaps for your ETC. So let's say you want to go buy, Dogelon, actually like these on the list, like SHIB, you buy 1 ETC, will give you, what is that? 446 million. No, 4,462,890,000 SHIB. So it's the thing is, SHIB Classic is about 100 100 trillion, while the original SHIB is 1,000 trillion. So they're already 90% less supply, and they're burning it through the LPs. So that's an interesting project. But to go back to what we were talking about, I just want to mention those because those are the ones I'm involved in. Let's talk about the mining. I still think that once ETC goes on there, this huge amount of terahash comes on there, we're going to have to bite the bullet for the first month or two. As people either drop off or the price of ETC goes up, then it's going to be very profitable. So, either it becomes profitable within the first 2 or 3 months, or you're going to see everybody getting off. The hash rate will adjust to make it profitable. Otherwise, people stop mining. So people will stop mining until it's profitable, and they'll start again.
Wow, interesting. So that's probably how it's going to happen.
That's what I suspect. It has to, because why would you run a rig at a huge net loss of 80%? Nobody will do that.
Unless you can see in the future, like the guy I spoke about earlier who was selling ETH at $100. If you only could see in the future that ETH was going to hit $4,000, then yeah.
Oh, so, that's fine. That's fine when you have $100 a month light bill, but not 10,000. Right. I have to dish out 10 grand a month. That's a lot. I'd rather just at that point buy the coin. I may have to shut down for a little while, but I have cheap power. I can withstand more than most people.
So while we are on that topic, I'd like to mention that there are so many new coins coming on ETC, and the one cool thing that ShipC actually started is when they burn the liquidity provider. So when you make a coin and you add liquidity, it will give you on HibiSwap, you get liquidity coins. And what they did was they burned those coins. That means that they cannot go and pull out the liquidity. So that's literally pulling the rug. So that's one safety feature. But there are so many coins that even yesterday there were 2 coins that came, and then all of a sudden the liquidity just went down to $1, and then it was done. Nobody could buy or sell again. So be careful what you're going into. If they don't have proof that they did that, make sure that there's always enough liquidity before you trade, or verify that they have burned, the liquidity tokens and all that. So,
yeah, the only 3 I see that have liquidity right now, HebeSwap, obviously the Hebe coin that has a huge amount of liquidity, Shiba C, which has about substantial amount, almost $1 million market cap, and what's the other, Dogelon Classic. This somebody wrote there. Oh, this Sleep Z PZ says those meme coins are a joke. I remember when Shiba had people say it was a joke, and look at it now. And Dogecoin, I never bought not one Shiba and not one Dogecoin because I think it's a joke. It's a meme coin, but you know what? It's not what we like. It's what other people will buy. So if they have a following, they have a big community, and the people will buy it. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna ride that wave until I think I feel comfortable, until I either 5 or 10x my money, and then I'm out, or I'll sell my original position and just keep going. But I am going to take out my initial capital for sure. So, to answer your question, CLSEPZ, they said the same thing about Shiba and Doge, and what? They're like number 10, 11, 12, 13 in the market cap.
Yep. I mean, there's no telling as to how things are gonna go, especially with meme coins. There is absolutely no telling. Right now, a lot of people on Twitter, I had to just be deleting my messages, especially if we're not connected, because people would be asking, oh, how do I connect to ETC? How do I trade a token on ETC? How do I do this? So it's like I'm sending people links, doing this. A lot of people just don't know how yet. It's easier on BNB and ETH, which nobody likes spending the transaction on ETH. So how about, we can have the same fun, but on a network with pretty much no gas fees. So it's going to get interesting, but nobody knows, and there are definitely people who are out there who are taking advantage of the situation. And while we are at it, I'm gonna do a shameless plug here before we go for the final word from Alex. So
yeah, can I interject one more thing?
Go ahead.
Okay, I want to share my screen.
Okay.
One of the things I want to show you is people always looking at ETC and the US dollar. Take a look at this screen.
Oh, your screen is not shared anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to put it up now.
Okay.
You got it? That's
Yep.
ETC versus F. Look at that. So, you can't just look at ETC and the dollar price action. How much is it gaining on F? It's gained substantial amount, as you can see. So you have to look at that. It's gaining, and it's going to get more popularity, and that's probably going to go higher. So, it's the same thing with F and BTC. If you look at the F chart and the BTC chart on USDT, they look exactly the same. But if you look at the F versus BTC, you get more BTC per F now than you did just 3 or 4 months ago, even in the bear market. And the same thing with ETC.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. So back to my shameless plug here. So this is my project. I'm the lead for this project. It's on both Ethereum Classic and BNB. We've been working on this quite a bit. Our game is actually at a point where you can actually play this game. I did play live with Alex, a couple of days ago.
And I beat you. I beat you, and it's recorded, isn't it? So you can't deny it.
It is recorded. But you know what happened? You know what happened that day after the live? I didn't turn off the live, so it kept streaming for 24 hours. So the next day
I saw that.
So
it was just an ETC chart.
Yep. But people kept dropping in and out here and there. So for this project, the NFTs that you buy, whether you buy them on ETC or BNB, you can use these NFTs as characters in the game. It's a strategy card game. That's what we're starting with, and it's pretty interesting. It has a nice storyline behind it. You can go to classicrewards.io and read it. Every single NFT, every single character was hand drawn, original from scratch. I can show you the pencil sketch of everything. So everything is original, and it's on ETC and Binance. It is cross-chain, right? So this is the team right here, and we are fully doxed too. It's not just a bunch of cartoons or anything. So we have Chris. We work together. We were both programmers, SQL programmers. You said you did it for SQL programmer about 14 years ago back in Pennsylvania. And Alex, we were both teachers here in Texas, and somehow every break we ate lunch together, and we just developed the game through that. We have that crypto girl who's our social media manager. We have Sharma, front end developer, Crypto for Profit, and then we have Sotera is one of our developing groups. We have a dev squad in the UK that did initial bunch of the game design and the site and other stuff. So we are working really hard to make this a reality, and we are almost there. So if you haven't followed Classic Rewards yet, let me search for it real quick. All right, there it is down here. All right, so go ahead and give Classic Rewards a follow on Twitter, and when you go on the site, you will see us actually demoing the game here. We have a 5-card game and a 2-card game. So we're gonna have tournament style games, and it gets interesting. You can even go to the website and read as much as you want about it. All right, so enough of the shilling, the shameless plug over there. Do you have any final words for today? It's a lot of information. I feel like we could go on for, because I just want to learn more about all this GPU and ASICs and why you did explain that. But if you can, before you give me your final word, if you can tell me why is it more likely for people on ASICs to move to Ethereum Classic instead of the other coins?
They have no choice. They can't mine anything else. So
see, that's
the
key.
ASICs, the ASICs cannot mine Ravencoin. They can't.
That's key. And the Ravencoin infrastructure itself cannot even handle more than 5 to 10% of the hash power that's coming down after the merge, right?
Again, I'm sorry, I was typing something. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm saying that one thing I learned earlier was that the Ravencoin infrastructure itself is not able to handle like more than 5% of the hash power that's coming down after the merge.
No, it could. It could handle it. I mean, it would. It if they start moving it over there. Remember, the hash rate goes up. That means the profit comes down because you have more on there. I just don't see the development on Ravencoin that Ethereum Classic has. I mean, Ethereum Classic is light years ahead. Have you heard of one project on Ravencoin? Tell me one.
Well, I do know they started coming up with NFTs, and they are working on a marketplace as well. But they have a huge problem when it comes to scalability. And there was an argument. I forgot the name of that guy. Son of a Tech, yeah. Son of a Tech had made a video some time back, giving some reasons why Ravencoin infrastructure cannot actually handle that much. I think it was because of how their blocks were set up, something of that sort. I'll need to do some more research into that. So yes, and the ASICs, just like you said, they don't have a choice, and that is great news for ETC, because ETC is going to be more secure, and more security means that more projects can comfortably, come on ETC, knowing that they will not be 51% attacked anytime soon. I made a video, my last two videos. I made a video about how much it would actually cost to attempt a 51% attack. And when I say attempt, it doesn't mean that it's going to actually work. And the estimate was about 160, 170 million dollars to even get close to attempting a 51% attack, and hoping nothing happens during that period of time that you are trying that. So the last time you needed less than 5 million to undertake an attack, and so the difference is huge now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I posted a link in the chat. Take a look at that. I'm gonna share my screen one more time before we go. And this is on Hive OS, what the statistics are on what's being mined on there. Can you put that up for a minute?
I'm gonna put it up.
Yeah.
Right.
So here you're talking about, ET hash is 83% of what's on Hive OS. ETC hash is only 3.47. Look, Kapow, which is Raven, is even less than ETC.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't imagine, anybody from here not going to ETC hash and moving over to something like Kapow, which is the algorithm for Ravencoin. And then, this is a great website for statistics and information. It's really detailed, how ASIC models, the NVIDIA models, the AMD models, look at that, RX 580s, which are the oldest cards possible that you can mine, other than maybe the 390s and the 480s, are 31%. And I own quite a bit of those. And also, what miners are using. And look, 64% is NVIDIA. So that could go over to Flux, Ravencoin, Beam, GRIN, and other ones, and Ravencoin, while I suspect 90% of these are going to go over to ETC hash.
Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. And I do also mine with Hive OS. It was the easiest to set up, by the way. I watched YouTube videos to set up my stuff. So I haven't, tried anything else. So my question is, whenever people post the network hash rate on two miners, does it include the hash rate that's on Hive OS?
Oh yeah, no, it's the whole network
The
hash
whole
rate. Everybody,
network.
home miners, Hive OS, simple miner, whatever, SMOS, whatever, everything. Windows miners,
Okay.
any miner, any. Yeah, it's the now on the two miners, it uses an average, so it's kind of like it's not 100% perfect, but you can see where the hash rate's going. It's very simple.
Okay. I just wanted to check them. Like, are they just doing from their end, or they're adding everyone else in? Okay. Well, so we've already spoken about this. Mr. Bill, he said, did Cardano call ETC a dead project? Yes. So here's the thing. Charles wanted to take ETC in a certain direction, and ETC is stubborn. That's why it's like a cockroach. You can't kill it, right? It's been attacked several times. In fact, right after the split, when the fork, which is Ethereum, was created, the devs, about almost all the devs, went over there, and what they did was they all had lots of ETC, and they dumped heavily coordinated dump, which sent ETC below cents. And then I've heard Donald talk about this. Again, this is from Donald. When ETC went down into the cents, that's when Barry, the billionaire, and Charles and Co. scooped millions of ETC. So they had lots of ETC, and I don't know what he's done with his ETC. But one thing I know also is that Charles is in charge of the ETC Twitter, which has 600,000 followers, and has refused to release the password to people who are still working on ETC at the moment, because IOHK was decided to quit ETC after the treasury was not approved. So it's all a case of being bitter, and it's nothing to be taken seriously at all. And the funny thing is, ETC actually decided to pump right after he said that. So I think this is the case of a big guy trying to fight the smaller guys, and I don't think it's going to end well for him.
Yeah, here's a trivia question for you. I got two of them. So one of them is, how much ETC is the max supply, and also who's the biggest private owner equity, and how much do they have in ETC?
Okay, so ETC max supply is 210,700,000
on the money.
And then the biggest is, I don't know if it's still Grayscale, but I think it was Grayscale.
I just posted it. You cheated. I just posted it in the chat.
Which
yeah, the Grayscale where people can see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I'm not looking at the chat.
But you were cheating. You were cheating when we were playing the game, because you had that spreadsheet with all the attributes.
Listen, I shared the spreadsheet on Twitter more
for
than
like
once.
2 seconds.
So everybody has it.
and so Grayscale, they hold $12.27 billion in Bitcoin. Then they hold 4.9 billion in Ethereum, and they hold 444 million in ETC. They hold 11.94 million ETC. That's a lot. You're talking about 5. That's 5%, roughly.
Yep.
And 5%, yeah, 5%, a little bit more than 5%.
Last year, when go ahead.
No, the nearest one is Litecoin at 88 million. You're talking about between 444 million and 88 million. That's a big gap.
Yep, you are right. So last year, when ETC pumped, ETC actually went up to be their second largest holding. When ETC pumped to $175, $180, it went up. In terms of value, it went up to be their second largest holding. Let me see here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you look at their tokens, it looks like they added some tokens. They did add some tokens, but not a whole lot. Just like $1 million, $3 million. Interesting.
Click on the link that I sent. Take a look at that one.
Okay, so you sent it in the YouTube chat.
I did.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's a different chart.
Wait, I don't see it here. How about just put it in the StreamYard chart?
I'll do that now.
Yeah, because it probably didn't allow your link. I don't think it allowed your link.
There you go. I did. I just did.
Okay. All right.
You might want to show that to the people so they can see. And you're talking about Grayscale. They're no fools. They know.
Okay, I see the Hivon statistics.
Oh, I'm sorry. I sent the wrong one.
Yeah, it's in there.
Sorry about that. Wrong one. Here we go. Let me do it again. There you go.
All right. Let's try that. All right. So Grayscale investments.
How come it's not showing it?
Okay.
Yeah, there it goes. It just
I
popped
think
up.
it might be loading.
I thought I just saw it. There you go. That's
all right.
Yes. Yeah. Scroll down.
It's pretty much the same thing. Mm-hmm.
That's weird. That's not my screen.
No. This is my link. I just made it much bigger to see how much Ethereum Classic was actually under Grayscale management right now. But I'm going to go back to your link here in a second. All right. Yes. All right. So Grayscale Investment Holdings and ETC is number 3. 11.9 million ETC, which is worth 444 million. Interesting.
And the next one is Litecoin, which is, not even 20% of that.
1.5, yeah.
About 20%.
That is interesting.
Because 10% would be 44 million. So yeah, 88 million, right? Yeah.
Right.
That's amazing. You talk about Litecoin that everybody just swore by it when back in the day. Now it's like nobody really looks at it.
Man, that is interesting. What did Grayscale do with their mana? Oh, they still have it. Okay.
Yeah.
They do still have it.
But a small amount.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, those of you who are not aware, Grayscale actually sponsors ETC Cooperative, right? So they for a while, I think that sponsorship kind of ends. It ends sometime this year. It hasn't been renewed, but for a while there's a certain amount that they keep paying to the ETC Cooperative, and this helps pay for development on ETC to keep stuff up and running. Currently, the ETC Cooperative, the last time, I haven't read their last report, but they do have about $4 million, in treasury, or to save up for future development. And they haven't employed that many people. I think they only have maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 people, on full-time staff. So that money can go quite a long way. So again, Grayscale is heavily invested in Ethereum Classic. So they want the network to survive. They want to support the network. And it's interesting. Big guys can see it. Hey, you should be able to see it too.
Well, look at your number there. They're still up 704%.
Yep, since inception. That's insane. Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
anybody, because I'm in the legacy finance. If you get 8% return a year, that's marvelous. Who the hell gets 704%? That's insane. And it's still got more to go.
Well. All right. Well, it's been great talking to you. You have any final words? Any final words? And
yes,
thank
I
you
do.
everyone who has tuned in. If you have any final questions, please put it up on the screen before we say goodbye. If you haven't liked the video, if you haven't subscribed, we might be doing this more often. Who knows? So go ahead and subscribe and like the video as well.
Yeah, it would be nice if we could do this once a week and just on ETC. That'd be interesting. There's always, there's so much activity. It's like now we have plenty. 6 years ago, we had nothing to talk about. Now we have plenty. So it's just continue. But yeah, my last words would be, if you want to become a miner or if you just want to invest in ETC, now is the time. We see the writing on the wall. I've seen it before. You see big money going after it. You see development. You see the communities. They're really, really friendly. And I just see the potential. And this is perfect because the void of Ethereum leaving is going to be filled in by ETC, not by the other ones. I'm going to mine the other ones too as well, but probably like 1 rig, maybe 2 rigs just in case. But, that's going to be more spec mining. But I'm going to stick, I would say 98% of my hash rate is going to go straight to ETC to support the project and also obviously to HODL. And, the electric bill, I'll probably pay half of it out of my earnings. So, if it's 10,000 I mine, I don't know, whatever ETC, I'll sell half of it. And then the other half, I'll just pay cash because I do want to HODL. Anybody who mined Ethereum, I was mining Ethereum when it was only $150, less than that, $100. And it was not very profitable. And there was a point where, remember, when the price action goes up, it takes a long time for people to not only buy the GPUs, prepare the GPUs, flash the GPUs, and then have a home for them. So it takes a while for them to catch up. So I was taking these huge rewards, at the beginning when the terahash was only about 200, I was making a killing. And I'm very happy I did. So those, don't sleep on it. Go into buying ETC, believe in the project. If you're a big proponent for proof of work, then this is the project to be in. And it's way early. I anticipate easily in the next, and this is a long game. You gotta listen. If you're gonna try to do this for like a week or two, this is not the right project for you. Might as well go into those meme coins when they come out, make your 10x and get out if you can. And if it has liquidity, that's another thing. But Ethereum Classic is the only one of all these coins that have the liquidity to sell from the miners, because these miners are going to be mining thousands and thousands and thousands of ETC a day. They have to dump it somewhere. And this is the only project that has the liquidity, whatever. I think it's like, is it 3 billion, 4 billion? I don't remember. 30 billion? I don't remember, whatever it is. But it has the liquidity that they can mine and sell it without doing this huge downside, down pressure on the coin. You do that to the smaller ones like ERGO, and you have, you know, $1 million worth of ERGO, you're gonna dump the price.
Very well said. All right, thank you all for being here. And Alex, you stay on for a little bit. And thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time, and I hope you all subscribe. Peace out.
Thanks, guys.